This is Kyle Juszczyk, and you're listening to Nothing But Niners.
This is Charles Haley. You're listening to Nothing But Niners.
So now they've got to start from deep in their end of the field, and Garrison Hearst takes advantage of it. He takes the handoff, hits to his right, gets to the 20. He's at the 30, needs to cut in. He comes back up the right sideline, breaks a third tackle, comes down to the 30. He's down to the 20. He's down to the 10. He's down to the 5. He's into the end zone. Touchdown! Touchdown! 49ers! 96-yard run from scrimmage. Garrison Hearst breaking tackle after tackle, sweeps down the sideline. Throws off bodies like clothes after a marathon.
Young, back to throw. In trouble, he's going to be sacked. No, gets away. He runs, gets away again, goes to the 40, gets away again, to the 35, cuts back at the 30, to the 20, the 50, the 10. He died. Touchdown, 49ers.
Third down, Alex takes the snap. Alex looking down in post, and it's got it! Touchdown! Touchdown, 49ers!
It is second down. Ryan takes the snap, throws the slant to the left side. It's Russell intercepted. The 49ers pick it, and Navarro Bowman is redemption. Navarro Bowman running it all the way for the touchdown. No greater redemption.
The San Francisco 49ers, we can do whatever we want.
Click, boom! What's going on, faithfuls? It's your boy Mike from the Nothing But Niners crew, and guys, it is time. I have a very, very fun episode prepared. All right, now, I'm going to see if the fellas jump in here, but as of this moment, no one else is here. I am okay with that because I have a phenomenal show prepared for you guys, all right? Now, let me go through these formalities, and we're going to rock out, all right? If this is your first time here on the YouTube page, all right, make sure you guys hit that like button. Give us that thumbs up, all right? It helps the algorithms, all right? If you are smart enough to be following us on this YouTube page, on Wayne's YouTube page, I'm not sure which one you guys are viewing from. There's some people on Patreon right now and all that good stuff. I'm going to get to that later. But when you give us a thumbs up on YouTube, it helps like-minded people like yourself find our channels. So please give us a thumbs up, all right? If it's your first time here, subscribe and turn on your notifications so you know exactly when we're going live. Shout out to the people that were in the chat earlier. I saw you guys just sitting there patiently waiting, right? It's halftime during the basketball game. You guys got another game coming on a little bit later you're probably going to want to get into and all that, but you guys are here, and I appreciate that. So make sure you guys go do all that, okay? Follow us on some of our social media platforms. We have Snapchat, Instagram, as well as Twitter. Those handles are Nothing But 9. That is the number 9. You see it right there. Nothing But 9 ERS. So get on over there and give us a follow. We also have Twitch and we have Facebook. Those pages are Nothing But Niner. Big community over there at Facebook. Do not be the last person to join the community. There are thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people over there. I think Facebook actually has more. Actually, I know they do. Facebook has more people there than we have subscribers on this show. So shout out to the Facebook community, right? Like we got 13,000 plus subscribers here. We're almost at 14,000 already. But here we are, and we're going to have a good time. So make sure you guys are over there also. We have a Patreon channel, all right? Patreon.com/NB9ERS. I'm about to start a new series over there. So head on over to the Patreon. It's going to be structured a very specific way. It's going to be a little bit outside the norm. All right, a little bit outside the norm. Get to know the people behind the scenes, behind the curtain, and all that stuff. So not just myself. We're going to have a whole other team over there. I can't wait to bring that to you guys. So head on over to patreon.com/NB9ERS. All right, so make sure you guys get on over there, okay? If you have questions, comments, concerns, suggestions for the shows, guys, head on over and shoot me an email, nb9ERS@nothingbutniners.com. I can get all your information over that way. All right, I'm going to pop my man Wayne in here. You ready? He's ready. Let's do this, man. Get my man Wayne in here. Wayne Breezy.
Yo,
man, what's going on with you, bro? Like, what is going on with you, man? They said no Wayne. Wayne's coming, y'all. Come on now. He's right there, man. He's right there.
Why something got to be going on with me? What'd I do?
Nothing.
Nothing.
I guess. Nothing.
I guess.
All right. I mean, hey, your lips, the guy's ears, nothing. How you feeling, bro? What's going on?
I'm all right. I'm all right. I'm here. So
right.
Yeah.
It's been a while since we've talked on the show together. So you all bright. I put the 4K camera up, so it's higher definition. But the brightness isn't as high as the Logitech that I normally use. Right?
I'm gonna
So-
limit the brightness so we can match. Here we go.
No. You don't have to do that. I'm gonna have my wife angle my light and tilt it towards me a little bit more when she gets back on that side of the living room. So she's gonna match me up and everything. I'll try to get on your level over there. But listen, man, the 49ers are losing people left and right. We haven't talked since the Super Bowl, so we got a lot of catching up to do. And then we're gonna get down to the, as you would say, nitty gritty pretty soon. Let's talk about the latest rumors with the 49ers. Since you said nothing's going on, let's start with Trey Lance doing an interview.
What is going on, bro? Does somebody know something I don't know? I do know that Trey Lance confirmed that his arm was dead.
He sure did, didn't he?
He sure enough did. Like
right,
he came out. Matter of fact, I got it right here. I can play what he said since.
Give the good folk a little something since people want to misconstrue what's going on. And,
yeah. So because I'm sure people don't think I know what he said, but I know what he said because I wrote what he said. So here we go.
First things first was about getting healthy. I had like little stuff, finger, just my arm was honestly just dead from throwing that whole entire time. Like, going through.
Wait a minute. I just want to because he said the word. He said arm and he said dead. So I just you know what? Let me play the version without the breezy music in the background so y'all can hear it clearly. Nope, that's got music in it too. Hold on. I got a whole bunch of these versions up here. Give me a second. Over there getting
it together, and I appreciate it, man, because we're gonna talk about it.
About getting healthy. I had like little stuff, finger, and just my arm was honestly just dead from throwing that whole entire time. Like, going through 2 fall camps, my last year of college, straight into draft prep. I probably threw 3 times a week for maybe a week or two off in there, but 3 times a week from October of 2020 to January 2022. So for me, it was just about taking that time off. And then when I do come back, just nailing down the little things, being as clean as I possibly can. And obviously felt like I was at a new place mentally. But this offseason, obviously after going through this season, you're like, taking that to a whole nother level and a lot what's going to be asked of me. Yeah, I don't want to
So apparently on my Twitter, I didn't.
Shots fired
on my Twitter, Wayne Breezy's Twitter account. My Twitter, I wrote that Trey Lance admitted that his arm was dead, and I said due to his rookie season going into his second season. So I didn't put the context in there. Apparently, I have to add context to my tweets. I didn't know that. They only give you limited characters anyway, so I'm not sure how much context you want people to add. But for me, I'm not a contextual guy. You want to hear my context? Go read my articles.
Well, here's the other thing too. If people want context, go find out where it was posted and go listen. Right? It's
Simple.
Nothing wrong with clipping stuff up. It's no different than when we sit down and do a 2-hour show and we post a 5-minute segment.
Right. Or it's nothing wrong with going to watch a movie after you watch the preview. You're like, oh, that shit about to be dope. And when you get to the movie, you be like, this shit is whack. I don't have that sound. I used to have that sound.
Wait, I might. Did I put it in? Hold on. Wait a second. Now, I've been playing around with this joint. Where is it?
I'm going to go find it. Yes.
Go, let's go. Now, I forgot to mute the microphone. Did that cause any bad, was it feedback or anything like that? Bro, I done strapped up the microphone. You know how you can get the little pop filters on top of them? Like they look like the afro. You just sit it on top of the mic.
You strapped up what?
I double strapped the microphone. Look, so I got the pop filter there.
Oh, you finally got a pop filter. It's about time.
First of all, it's about time me. First of all, because
it's about damn time. Turn up.
I haven't been needing it.
Ooh, turn down the lights.
I thought that the pop filters would help because at one point, I don't know if you remember, when I would play sound effects and applause, it would start causing like a little feedback thing. So I figured this might help with it. So this way I don't have to mute every time I put a sound effect on. You know what I'm saying? By the way, I'm going to say this early. I'm going to say it often too. You guys can keep the super chats coming. We get to them at the end of the show. So you guys don't think I ignored you. Don't think I don't see it. And shout out to the people on Wayne's channel with the special comments here with the little symbol next to him.
Oh, what's good, Terrence?
I
can see those.
Yeah, yeah. I got it on your page. So I will click those and give them some screen time just real quick because You know, now I'm not going to necessarily comment on them because y'all here for Wayne. I understand. I
No,
get it.
no,
It's
no,
all
no.
good.
Okay. This is they. What a day, Mike. Mike, how was your day?
See,
I
now
feel
how
like
they
nobody-
saying it? No, don't try to change subjects.
I
I'm
want
getting
to know. I want to know how your day was today, Mike.
yeah. See what I'm saying? So you know,
I
it is-
wasn't
no,
being spicy.
Sure.
I sure was.
Sure.
Marty Marr was good. Oh, speaking of that, Marty Marr is right. Richard Sherman, you will no longer be my uncle if I don't get an apology, because I tried to tell you, bro, that shit was holding. Now, should they have called holding? All right, that's a whole nother conversation. But my whole gist of it is holding. Talk about
Was
Super
it-
Bowl.
Was
You didn't hear what happened?
Or was it in the legal context? Oh no, I saw the exchange with you and Uncle Rich.
No, it was a hold, bro. Because I think somebody had the referee. They had the NFL Films version, like the actual tape, not no digital junk, like tape, 2-inch tape version, the old Madden stuff, and it shows the jersey being pulled, bro.
How about that? How about them apples, huh?
It was a hold. I mean, it maybe it shouldn't have been one, but it was a hold.
Call a spade and call a hold. And look, you know what the bottom line is too? People were going to act like that was going to drastically change the outcome of the game, maybe, but I don't think so. I think they were going to score regardless. And who knows what that defense was going to do on the other side. So I don't want to hear excuses for it. Sorry, not sorry. Now, you asked me how I'm doing, how my day was. My day was actually pretty eventful. Had a good day at work, came home, took the baby to ballet, you know what I'm saying? Taught the dog to sit. He's listening well and everything. Had to give him some heartworm medicine. Found out my man got ringworms or something. Not ringworms, roundworms.
You're about to say can't have ringworms,
roundworm.
but that roundworm sounds about right.
Yeah. So he's not heartworms, which is a good thing.
Does ringworms even still exist, Mike? I mean, that was the thing you got playing in the dirt. Like, I don't think kids play in the dirt anymore.
Is that a misconception? Like, is that officially where ringworms came from? Like, I always, this is about to sound real bad. This is gonna sound so bad, but I'm gonna say it because this is what we do here. I'm gonna say it. I always associated ringworms with dirty people not playing in the dirt, because I played in the dirt all the time. My grandmother's house was.
I thought you got it from playing in the dirt and then not cleaning up, but maybe you're right.
Which means you're a dirty person, right? And look, and as kids, right? I don't charge it to kids. I don't, oh, you a little dirtball. I just knew like certain people had ringworms. I didn't get it. They said it comes from dirty water. I don't know. But either way, I never had it. And I played outside plenty. You want to hear something crazy?
Maybe you played in the good dirt.
Maybe I wasn't in the city. Like my grandmother was out in the boonies.
So you had the real dirt. Yeah,
like we played like really in the dirt. Like we dug, we found old bones from animals and stuff.
Yeah.
I built up an immunity. Check this out, right? I don't know if I still got it or not, but I had built up an immunity to like poison ivy and poison oak.
You must have. Did you get it so much that you?
It never. I think I was exposed to it at such a young age that it never like really affected me that way. And then I had a litter of puppies one time, and people were picking up the pups, and their arms were breaking out. And it turns out the puppies were walking through the patches of poison ivy or poison oak, whichever one it was. I don't know. And they started breaking out from it. So I never got any of that stuff. I thought it was pretty cool. Now, that was many moons ago. I've been using hand sanitizer. That's the thing. We use so much damn hand sanitizer, our bodies don't recognize any germs anymore. Like we kill everything so damn fast. No germs, no. Now it's like, what's this? What is this foreign?
It's a good point. Yeah, you hold on. It's a good point.
Now, let's talk about these Niners, man.
What about him, man? What about him? We're in the off season now. It's gonna be it's not dull and boring.
We're losing some people. We lost
we lost some coaches.
We lost we
lost Slowick.
Mm-hmm. Bobby Sloak, the pass game coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
He's now going to be the offensive coordinator.
Nah, I think he's going to be Bobby Sloak is going to be the offensive coordinator for the Houston Texans. And then we lost somebody else, and he's going there to be the same position as well. It's so funny. A lot of people going to Houston. How about
Yeah.
that? Corey Unlin. That's the other guy we lost.
That's right. That's right. And so, congratulations to those guys getting the bumps up. I'm hoping that it came with a pay increase as well. And a lot of people saying, hey, are the Niners going to lose a little bit of that magic?
It's a good question.
Is it? Or is it just
I mean, the magic,
because they told me the magic left when Mike McDaniel left. And when we played them,
it was a
like
slow start, though, Mike, to the beginning of the season. Like a lot of people didn't factor in the fact that a lot of the coaches that were here at the beginning of the season, it was like their first time, coaching at the positions that they had. So it took them some games to kind of get in sync with Kyle Shanahan and the players and things like that. So there might be a slow start to next season too, and it typically happens when you lose coaches. But once they get in sync, as you can see.
One of the rants I'm going to go on throughout this show, and I got about 3 of them I'm going to go on, right? I'm going to call for an ISO, clear out. All right, I'm going to call for an ISO.
All right, Kyrie.
And I'm going to do my thing. I'm going to drive to the hole hard. All right? Now, we're going to pause that. This is Wayne. I forgot that they can see us on your channel too. Pause.
Everything's a pause, bro.
I'm
can't even sneeze without saying pause. You're supposed to say bless you. They'd be like, you didn't say pause. Like, I sneezed.
But there's a reason for the slow start. I'm gonna get to it later. And there's gonna be another slow start again next year.
I agree.
For really, really good reason. And none of the reasons that y'all think it is. It's not because we lost anybody. That's not it. Not because we lost anybody on the coaching staff, I should say. Now, there's not much else going on with the 49ers right now. So we can go ahead and just jump into this conversation if you want. I got a couple of things that I want to discuss.
Let's do it.
Did you just call me?
Is his name? Is it Bro Sense? He says, love the Celtics back. Appreciate it, man. You diehard Celtics fan. First place, Celtics. If you're a Celtics fan watching the show, go Celtics. All right, Mike. I'm just talking until you're ready.
Here we go with the Celtics.
You want to start with the rumor the Debo to the Patriots? No, he said no. He said no. Sorry.
Who's going to? All right, go ahead. Say it. What was that?
You just told me no. So
I didn't even hear you. I was saying no to what I was reading.
So apparently there's a Patriots radio show guy, and he got a text message from an NFL evaluator and said that the Patriots are sniffling around trading for wide receiver Deebo Samuel.
Okay. Oh, that's why Christy. Oh, well, that's why she said what she said. Okay. Well, let's talk about it. Let's entertain the idea.
Okay. So, little caveat: Deebo's contract. If they traded him before June 1st, the team would take a $28 million hit. If they trade him after June 1st, it's a significantly less amount of money. So, just want to put that out there. So it probably won't happen pre-June 1st if it did. So now let's talk about post-June 1st.
Post-June 1st, we only have 16 million cap space. Now, the dead hit, if I'm not mistaken, isn't that money already accounted for?
What do you mean? No. Which money? Which dead hit?
So any of the dead cap space. Like, so for example,
right, dead cap space.
D Ford is like $8 million.
He's gonna get 8.4 million. It's already old.
It's like in the reserve already. So it's not gonna affect the cap space if I'm not mistaken.
We're not talking about the dead. Oh, so I get your question, but I don't think you have to worry about the dead money. I think we're the $16 million that we have. And I'll get it from SpotRack right now. I believe we're at that $16 million mark. So stand by.
Okay. Now, why are you doing that? I'm not expecting Kyle Shanahan to trade you.
Oh no, me neither.
What happened?
No. I was just looking at we got some cap hits coming up to 27 million, 23 million, 18 and a half, 18, 17, 16. Good.
Some expensive players on the 49ers team.
Golly, right? Molly.
Now, I'm just gonna say it don't matter. I don't think we're gonna trade him. I think Kyle Shanahan built this team for Trey Lance. I understand Debo was here before Trey. I get that. I understand Ayuk was here. I get all that. I think Kyle was putting this team together the way that he could. So that way, when he comes in here with his inexperienced quarterbacks, Brock Purdy, I'm going to talk about him soon, Trey Lance, right? That they didn't have to go out there and just wow you, right? We don't need the guys to be making miraculous throws and staying in the pocket for 5 or 6 seconds and finding someone where, right? He built a team where they can get the ball out quickly and still be effective. It's part of his play design. It's part of how he runs things. I don't think that he is ready to give away one of those key pieces yet. I don't think that's it. Christian McCaffrey, people were talking about, oh, the Niners could trade him. He don't have any guarantee, blah, blah, blah. Christian McCaffrey's not going anywhere. They didn't give up all that draft capital to play him for one season and then let him go. I don't believe that the Niners were doing that. What do you think?
Hell no. Like, no. Like, they wouldn't trade a person just to get rid of them. That doesn't even make any sense. They wouldn't trade for a person just to get rid of them. Now, like, if we're talking about Deebo Samuel, and you're talking about a place where, you know, if this trade was for real, the Patriots do have a right tackle that I think would fit very well in Kyle Shanahan's system, named Isaiah Wynn. So, if we're talking player for player,
oh, that boy in his bag over there.
I don't know, like you know, so like I don't think you're gonna get a player and a pick. I just don't. But I think you could do it player for player, but that money's gotta even out. So that's where it comes down to. So now you're talking, because are you willing to expend a playmaker for a person to protect the quarterbacks? And so that's what you got to kind of look at. Because I'm looking at the draft, and yeah, we could draft a couple of guys, right? But you might have to draft a couple of guys, because the guys that could come in right away and play, in my opinion, you know, like there's this kid out of BYU nobody's talking about, bro. So I'm not even gonna mention his name.
Do you want me to go get my folder? I got my whole draft. I haven't touched the draft.
So since I haven't heard from you, you've been doing homework. This is what I'm
bro. If I'm about to make my son go get this folder. I have a folder. It's about as thick as the Bible.
We're not gonna name the kid from BYU. Okay. But there's a right tackle. There's a tackle from BYU that I like. He's my second favorite tackle in this draft. Honestly, and I think you can get him in round 3, round 4. Damn it, Sloppy! I said don't mention the name. People are so hard-headed, man.
Wayne,
huh?
This is my folder here.
Oh, you on point?
Oh, bro, it's broken down. I got the positions in here.
You still print out papers? Yeah, you on point. I just got.
Oh no, yeah, old school. So I got a desk job now. So you know, I got a little bit more time. You know?
Yeah.
But the thing is, I'm looking at players that I think are going to be within reach of the 49ers. I'm not looking at round 1, round 2 guys. I'm looking at round 3 and after, right? We got enough ammo to maybe trade up to the bottom of round 2 if we want stuff like that. We have enough ammo to do things like that. So I'm looking at those guys. I'm looking at, you know, midday 2 guys, day, you know what I'm saying? Like,
absolutely.
That's what I'm looking at. So I might not have, you said tackle. Let me just see if I have him. Where? Let me see.
I have him right now as a third round guy.
Let me see. Okay. I got a guy from Maryland over here. I got a guy.
I like the kid from Maryland.
I got a guy from OU. I got a guy from Georgia. I got a guy from Ole Miss.
We have 10 picks out there, guys.
Oh man. I wonder if he went. Let me see. So I don't think I have your BYU guy on here for one reason.
All right, so he's 6'8".
Oh yeah, actually I do have him on here.
Yeah, 6'8" guy. I'm gonna do a whole breakdown on my Patreon on him. But the tackle that my draft crush tackle though is Cody Mauek out of North Dakota State. He's 303 pounds. He's 6'6".
I saw your post.
And
I saw your post. A little pop up with Trey Lance over there. Yes, I saw you, man.
If you want a mean guy, like mean, when the last time we had a mean guy? Mike Iupati, maybe? No. What's the other one?
Alex Boone was mean as
Alex
shit.
Boone. Yeah.
He was my favorite lineman.
Yeah, like Yeah, if you want a mean guy, that's the guy. And when I say mean, I don't mean mean by like nature. I just mean by the way he plays. He's super physical. And he won the majority of his reps at the Senior Bowl. There was a rep they had him at center. He did get pushed around. I actually have that rep. And he got pushed around a little something, but he's not naturally a center. But they did have him playing center. They had him playing guard, and they have him playing tackle. Now, if he gets drafted and they vote him to guard, that's going to be a problem. Like, I don't think that's going to work in the NFL. It might do him some type of damage, but I can see why he's going to play tackle. He's kind of light. He's like 303, but the kid from BYU is like 305 as well, but he's taller. It's like 6'8".
Yeah, he's a big dude. Let me shut up. I'm not supposed to know anything.
No, you aren't supposed to know anything. What do you mean? That's what you do. So, but the thing that I like about Blake is his blocking in zone, and so he's a runner. His run blocking is great. His pass protection is great. So you're gonna get a great guy, and he fits the zone scheme. Now, Mike, I will say there's a small possibility, and I was talking to Tony that Kyle Shanahan might have took a look at that Philadelphia offensive line and said, "F this zone shit." he might just go after different guys.
Look, can I say something right now? The Eagles have the most overrated offensive line I've ever seen in my life.
That's fair.
If it wasn't for a quarterback that can run 100+ yards in the game, that offensive line will look way different.
But they don't get caught for penalties, Mike. The way that maybe our defense was just terribly bad.
No, that's not it. It's not that the defense was bad. They were playing assignments, right? So
that's what I mean.
You watch how Nick Bosa was pursuing. He wasn't going to the quarterback. He was doing this because they got to try to contain him.
Correct.
Right? It's how you play certain players.
But that makes you good, Mike. If you could follow instructions,
it doesn't make the offensive line good. It
does make the offensive line good, Mike. Right? Think about it. All right, you sent the double wham blocks. You were sending out double blocks like the 1-2 combo punches at Javon Kinlaw. If a guy missed that combo, then the linebacker is going to be able to come in there and kind of like help clean some of that stuff up. But that wasn't happening. And that's why Miles Sanders was just having a day. All the running backs, they were having days. And so, like, being disciplined and knowing your assignment, in my opinion, that helps make you good. Maybe they're not as skilled as what you're saying, but man, they sure enough ran them assignments well, bro.
Right. So I think it's about respecting the opponent and their ability. You over pursue Jalen Hurts, right? He's got a lane, and he will take it. So
100%.
Our pass rushers didn't forget how to rush the passer.
But I didn't think Jalen Hurts was the issue in that game. Did you?
No, not against us.
No, not against us. Oh, okay. I see where you're going. You're talking about
definitely the reason why the Eagles were in that game, though.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I get where you're going.
100% the reason why the Eagles were in that game. How many times did we say Chris Jones' name? Best defensive player in the NFL, right?
Mm-hmm.
Best defensive tackle in the NFL. Yeah, I said it, right? Not Aaron Donald. I'm talking about the man, Mr. My Dick came out. Him, right? Where was he all game? You know when I saw him in the game?
Mm-hmm.
When they showed him yelling at his players on the sideline, trying to get them fired up.
I got you.
You could pursue all you want. Hurts going sidestep, run down that gap that you just left open, and gain a first down. So it's about understanding the assignment. It's about the assignment, man. I think the Niners had a phenomenal game plan. It all got derailed. I want to give some props to my man Brock Purdy. Right? Let's talk about my man Brock Purdy. There's a lot of stuff going on right now, and if you look at the playoffs. If you look at the championship games, AFC side and NFC side,
okay,
you had running quarterback versus pocket quarterback, or scrambling quarterback versus pocket quarterback. You had Brock Purdy against Jalen Hurts. You had Burrow against Mahomes, right? You look at who advanced for whatever reason. The guys with a little bit more mobility are the guys who advanced to the Super Bowl. But I want to go back to talking about Brock Purdy. This young man had a phenomenal season, and he deserves much more than applause, but I'm going to give him a little bit of applause right now. Okay? He had a phenomenal season. I thought he should have won Rookie of the Year. I don't know. I thought maybe the NFL didn't want to say Mr. Irrelevant is Rookie of the Year. I think that was part of it. You know what I'm saying? But I think he should have won that at the NFL honors. He did win it for another group. Which one of the writers groups. Was it Fox?
Oh, it was Fox Awards. The Fox Awards.
Fox? Yeah, they gave it to him.
And the offensive Rookie of the Year for Fox.
Right. I think he deserved it, man. I really, really think he deserved it. The young man showed phenomenal poise. Just knew the system really, really well. Went in and played a solid game. He was never a liability for the 49ers. And when he was, the few bad plays he had were normally at the beginning of the big games. The errant throws and all that opening drive. Get those jitters out. Hey, listen, you went out there. You made some mistakes on that opening drive. We're still in it. We're still here. Shake it off. Time to play ball. And you could see the mental preparation taking effect throughout the season, right? Jimmy Garoppolo goes down after that first drive against Miami. He stepped right in, didn't miss a beat. Hey, it's time to go, bro. It's time to go. We put up over 30 points. Over 30 points. We went out there, and that man played well. Had the 49ers scoring more points than they had all season long. Kyle's he's just sitting on the 40 burgers. We put up 38 points, 37 points, in field goal range. Nope, take a knee, we going home. We got this game in the bag. No need to score anymore. But Kyle, you in field goal range. It's okay. We can just run the time off the clock. We getting out of here. Nobody else is getting hurt. I don't even want to risk Robbie pulling something on an unnecessary field goal, right? We did those things. And because Brock Purdy went there and he played as good as he did. Wayne, when you step back, you think about Brock Purdy, what are your final thoughts on him? Like, what if you had to write his review?
He was cool, calm, and collected, bro. He was cool, calm, and collected. From the moment that he stepped in to that Miami game, he was calm, right? He was cool, and he was collected. And even after the injury in the Tampa game, all right, when he got his ribs hurt or his abdomen, what do you call it? His sides, obliques. You know, when he got those hurt, you know, he played through the pain, and so that let me know that this kid is a warrior deep down, right? And so, like, whatever happened in that NFC Championship game, yeah, the plan was for him to not return to the game. That was the plan. Like, he was not going to return. But when all the shit hit the fan, man, he was like, look, coach, just put me back in. I'll do what I can. They attempted one screen pass. It didn't look good, and it was run after that. The kid's a warrior, man. And so I thought from Miami on, he was cool, calm, collected, didn't lose into the NFC Championship. And I know that his team definitely helped him. You know, they gathered around him and they helped build him up, but they built up a really good, solid player that had a really good set of tools, really good poise. He was poised every single time, even in his pressers. All he did was talk about how he could be better to make his team better. That's all he cared about, like how he can be better to make his team better. And so, like, I know he's a young kid, and I know he's dealing with, you know, the injury issue right now. And if Brock is listening, man, this is what I would say to him. Listen, you played amazing, and your time is still yet to come. Like, the best is yet to come. And so for Brock, man, right now it's all about healing up, getting healthy. And the good thing is he's young. So that means he's going to bounce back, and he's going to come back even stronger. And it's the same thing we can say for Trey Lance as well, who dealt with an injury last season.
If you had to compare Brock Purdy to a quarterback in the postseason, who would it be?
Compare Brock Purdy to a quarterback I don't know if I could compare him to any quarterback because he was different. Like, Brock Purdy was Brock Purdy. There was things that he could do that I haven't seen other quarterbacks do. And it was just like, all right, Brock, what are you going to give us? Like, what's on the agenda for today? All right, we know you can escape the pocket. We know you can do a 360 spin with 360, 720, and whatever comes after that. Like, we know you could, and still get the ball out of your hands. We know you could take off and run. We know you can throw quick slants. I'd call Brock the slant king. He was slanting everybody up. Even in the championship game, like, There was a couple of throws. I'm like, yo, Brock is about to light this defense up over the middle, bro.
Yeah.
We're suspect over the middle. And then the injury happened, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And so cool, calm, and collected. That's Brock Purdy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Very good. I think Brock Purdy was much closer to Joe Burrow than people think. I do.
I just feel like Brock is Brock. Like, I've never seen what we got from Brock. I don't think I've ever seen in the San Francisco organization. Because he's not a Steve Young, he's not a Joe Montana. Some people were comparing him to like a Joe Montana kind of sort of thing.
I saw comparisons to Montana. I saw comparisons to Patrick Mahomes, and I'm like, yo, y'all gotta chill. Like,
well, Mike, I mean, like, I think the Montana was more like his ability to, like, I don't know. I don't know what they were getting. That matter of fact, let them tell you. I'm not gonna speak for them because I really don't know. That's not my comparison. It was really hard for me to compare him to anyone, but I can hear this. I want to hear more about the Joe Burrow comparison.
Well, no, I just think that if you had to say that he had a game like another quarterback that was in the postseason, I think it's closest to Joe Burrow, right? He trusted his receivers. He had no problem trying to fit the ball into some windows if that was what the play called for. He had no problem getting the ball out on time. Like you said, the slants, right? How many slants did you see where the ball went? There was you got a defender here, you got a receiver here, and you got a defender here closing in on the receiver, and he zips that joint right in there. Or he throws it just high enough where it's out of the reach of the defender that's closest between him and the guy, right? Those are the kind of plays that I see Joe Burrow make in the pocket, right? Those, and people say Joe Burrow benefits from having those phenomenal wide receivers. So does Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy wasn't throwing a bunch of bums, y'all. Like, we got to remember, it's a first-round guy, it's a second-round guy, a first-round running back that was catching passes from him. You know what I'm saying? The best fullback in the game, like the best tight end in the game. Brock Purdy was throwing the weapons just like Burrow was, and I think he can move a little bit more than Burrow. So I think the closest comparison to what we saw in the postseason would have been Joe Burrow. And that's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. Now,
I can see it. I can dig it.
I got a comment for the chat. Everybody listening right now, if you watch the Super Bowl, just type 1 and send it. I just want to know how many people watch the Super Bowl. Just type 1 and press enter. Boom. I did it for us. There it is. Boom. We watched it, right? I want to know how many people actually watched the Super Bowl. Because this take that I'm about to give y'all now, it might be ISO time, Wayne. It might be ISO time. I'm seeing a lot of ones. I'm seeing a lot of ones in there. I want to say something. Losing the Super Bowl does not mean that you're bad as a player. It means your team lost.
Correct.
I want to say that. So a lot of people laughing at the Eagles because they lost and all that. And we get it. They're the ones that knocked us out. I understand all that, right? But the Eagles, they had good players on that team. Their team just lost the Super Bowl. Does that mean that it's not a good team?
Yeah, I mean, the better team won, but that doesn't mean that they were a bad team. Like, I don't get where you're going with this. I don't think the Eagles were bad, period.
Right. What was missing for the Eagles to win that game?
Time.
Like if they needed, if you could put another player on that team.
It didn't have to do with a player. It didn't have to do with anything. It was time. Like, they controlled the clock for almost 3 quarters, and then it was Patrick Mahomes' time. And once you gave him time, I mean, what did you want? If Jalen Hurts had the opportunity with time, I guarantee you they could have scored. Like that's the Super Bowl that we watched. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't.
I'm going to disagree with Sim a little bit here. Not a bad team, but we've seen some teams in the Super Bowl that just had no business being there, and they won. I'll give you an example. That Giants team that won the Super Bowl, yes.
The last 2 Super Bowl wins were against the Patriots. So.
Yeah. But not the one with the 3-headed running backs. The other one with the David Tyree catch.
The first one.
Yes. Right? That team had a solid defense, but they weren't a good team. I'm talking both sides of the ball. The third, phase of the game, the special teams, they weren't a good team. They got hot at the right time. And
I thought their defense was carried. I thought their defense was elite, Mike.
It was absolutely an elite defense, but I'm talking about the team as a whole.
That's part
Eli
of it.
Manning was average at best, right? Come on. Come on. We could be honest here.
I'm not gonna say he was above average, but I mean he was a game manager at that point, and shit, that's what most quarterbacks are. Like, unless you got that elite quarterback, like they're game managers. Like
Right.
Peyton Manning was elite. He was a terrible, probably game managing type of a quarterback, but he could go out there and get you a win. Whereas Eli Manning, everything had to work together, but he can sustain a win. Like he can make sure his team sustains. And so that's what he did twice. Eli made throws when he needed to make the throw. I think that David, to this day, Rodney Harrison should not. He should. You talk about Kyle Williams disappearing. Rodney Harrison should have disappeared from the face of this planet from allowing David Tyree to even catch that pass on top of his head. You karate kung fu fooey kick that ball out his hand.
I watched the Super Bowl. So did all the people that put the ones in there. And I want y'all to tell me with a straight face that Kyle Shanahan watched that Super Bowl and said, you know what? Brock Purdy's the guy going forward. That was my biggest takeaway from the Super Bowl. I don't think it's Brock Purdy's team. I think Kyle Shanahan watched that game and saw how two quarterbacks willed their team to all those points. How many touchdowns did Hurts account for by himself? And was it 4? He had 3 rushing and a passing one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Look at what Patrick Mahomes was doing out there. Isaiah Pacheco, my draft crush for running back, Jersey guy, right? That was my guy. He had a pretty good game, huh?
He's from Jersey.
Yeah, oh yeah, went to Rutgers and everything, right? That was my guy. That was my draft crush for running back, right? I wanted the Niners to get him, but what's done is done. My thing is, when you watch that game, you saw respected defensive line against a really good quarterback. And those quarterbacks played to their strengths. Guess how many sacks that the Eagles got against the Chiefs? I tell you what, it was less than the number I asked y'all to type. Not a single one, right? Because you got a guy that can move around and hit his guys. He could extend plays. He could step up in the pocket. He can move around a little bit. I don't think Kyle sat there and watched that game and said, you know what? We'll be okay with Purdy. I think Kyle wants more. I think Kyle wants a guy that can say, you know what, man? Right now, one of my receivers just vanished, right? A.J. Brown. Where was he the second half of that game?
I mean,
where was
he? I mean, they weren't targeting him. I don't want to say he was. I mean, he was insignificant, but at the end of the day, like,
you think
Jalen Hurts was.
Go ahead.
Jalen Hurts, in my opinion, was doing whatever it took to win that game. Whether if that meant run the ball, if that meant throw the ball, if that meant
down the field,
if that meant extending the play, whatever it took, Jalen Hurts was gonna win that game. Like that's what he was gonna do. But like I said, people keep saying you asked, well, what's the one thing that they didn't have? And they literally ran out of time.
Yes,
like, dude, the Kansas City Chiefs defense made plays when they needed to, but God, I tell you what, both defenses were tired by the end of the fourth quarter, and on that, I mean, they were just gashing. And if you got a strong run team, if you can sustain the run, you're good, because that's what the Kansas City Chiefs did. Pacheco was gashing. He took a hit, got the wind knocked out of him, came back in and knocked somebody else out. Like that's what. That right there is key. Being able to sustain the run. If it ain't working, stick to it. And the only way you could do that, though, Mike, is if the score stays relatively close. If that game was lopsided and the Chiefs were down by such and such and such, that's when the quarterbacks step up. Yo, we down by 14, man. We can't run this ball. No worries.
Come on.
We'll do some type of quick bubble screen or whatever, and we'll leave Kadarius Tony wide open for a touchdown. We'll do the same thing to Juju on the other side. Touchdown.
Come on, man. But was Juju phenomenal in that game?
Hell no.
Right? I mean, Tony was Kadarius Tony. Was his best play as a receiver or as a return man?
I mean, it was as the return man. His biggest game was at the return man because it led to the Juju touchdown. But that touchdown, that was nice.
Come on, it was nice. It was nice. I can't watch that game and think that Kyle doesn't want a sprinkle of that in his quarterback.
Well, Mike, I think he has that though. You know, like
Purdy didn't have that.
You can't say that he doesn't have it with Brock when you watch Brock extend plays, and you can't say that he doesn't have it with Trey when you've watched Trey extend plays. They just do it differently. I think when it comes to Trey Lance, maybe Kyle Shanahan was expecting Trey Lance to be like a certain type of running quarterback because Jalen Hurts will run. I don't think Trey Lance wants to run. I think
young grasshopper. Here we go. You're walking me right to it. Come on.
I think when it comes to Trey Lance, it's more like it has to be of nature for him to want to take off and run the ball. But that design run bull stuff, that ain't Trey. I don't think that's Trey. Now, that can go and factor into the fact that he had the dead arm, and that's why Kyle was trying to lessen his throws and trying to incorporate some different things. But I think Trey Lance is the guy going forward. And this is even if Brock was healthy.
Oh boy. Say what you just said one more time.
Trey Lance Trey Lance is Kyle Shanahan's quarterback moving forward with a healthy Brock. Brock is the perfect complement to Trey Lance. With Trey can come in here and step right in and we don't skip a beat. That's Brock. So for Brock, heal up, bro. Your number's going to get called at some point, and when it does, you go back in and you do exactly what you were supposed to do.
Brock was good. I spent 5 minutes complimenting that young man. I got nothing bad to say about Brock Purdy.
Nothing. Absolutely not.
A single negative word to say about him. But Kyle wants more from the position.
I see where you're going. So
that's all I'm saying.
I was talking about this probably to myself because sometimes there's nobody else to talk to, right? And so I was saying to myself, Self.
And what did Self say? Self said,
And Self was like, what's going on? And I was like, listen, like the ceiling on Trey Lance, like Kyle hasn't even had a chance to unlock the hidden books yet.
He couldn't even scratch the surface.
I just like the reason why Kyle even drafted. All right, we could say this. Trey Lance is super raw. Got it. No problem. As raw as it can get. No doubt. No problem. But the thing about getting something raw is if it has a good base, a good root, a good something, you can shape it and mold it into exactly what it is you want it, need it to be. And I think the thing that makes Trey Lance so great is his mindset and him being studious to the game. If you were listening to the interview today, Trey Lance was just talking about, man, it sucked having to go to these meetings and not being able to do stuff. Quincy Avery says, you know, the one thing that I loved about you and why I said you were going to get drafted and was it going to be this person? Your ability to be in the books, like you learning the stuff. Trey Lance came in, everybody was happy. Trey Lance knew the playbook. And now all of a sudden, like Trey Lance don't know the play. What you mean he don't know the playbook? He just doesn't have the opportunity to play due to some type of an injury. And it's okay. People get injured.
ISO. You mentioned earlier at the top of the game, at the top of the show, I'm saying game. I'm ready. I said ISO, I'm in game mode, right? You talked about the slow start. And I said we're going to have another slow start. I want to explain something to people out there. Kyle spent the entire offseason game planning to unleash Trey Lance on the NFL. He wanted to show that he had a quarterback that can run, a quarterback that can take shots down the field, a quarterback that can stand in the pocket and deliver on those slants. He wanted to show the league that he had a quarterback that read the field from deep to middle
to
shallow
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I can't emphasize this enough to everybody. That is the exact opposite of the way that he does things for Brock and Jimmy. When Jimmy went down and Brock came in, you want to know why the transition was so easy?
Because it was the same game plan. It was shallow, intermediate, take a deep shot.
It was the same game plan.
Mhm.
It was the same game plan. People aren't like accepting that. People aren't realizing that. Maybe they just don't know it. Maybe they don't know it. Maybe this is the first time that they're hearing this.
Bro, it's okay, Mike, because what Brock did was give people hope. And
Sure.
and it's not it's that's why I put out a tweet like y'all motherfuckers act like you forgot about Trey, right? That got barely any mentions though, but the moment I mentioned his arm fatigueness,
I didn't
anyway.
see that. I'm off of Twitter so much, man.
So I know, but I'm just saying it's so funny what people choose to pick, whatever. Anyway, but that's why. Remember, I said
now everybody want to talk like they got something to say, but nothing comes out when they move their lips. But just motherfuckers act like they forgot about Trey.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah,
but remember, I said I was talking to myself, Mike. That's why I put that tweet out there, and I put Trey on Dre, and I wanted to like don't forget about this kid and his ceiling. He was grasping the playbook. Trey Lance, Kyle Shanahan used to tear Jimmy an asshole on the sideline. Trey Lance made a mistake. Go pat the kid on the back, tell him to like shake it off, man. You're gonna get it the next time. Then Trey Lance comes out, throws a touchdown. That was after an interception. Like that. It's something about Trey that Kyle loves. We just don't know what it is, and it's okay. He does.
I know. I saw the comments in the chat. 30 plus points a game. Y'all tripping. I'm not saying that Brock Purdy was bad.
No.
Neither of us ever said that.
But Brock was running the same script as what Jimmy was. Brock was way better than Jimmy Garoppolo. Let's just put it out there like that. He could run and execute the script better than Jimmy. It still was short passes, yak, take this ball, run it down the field, outrun everybody. It was the same shit. He occasionally threw a deep bomb. Okay, so same thing as Jimmy. Occasionally threw a deep bomb. What was Trey's first throws? Preseason. You open? All right.
We thought Danny Gray was going to explode on the NFL when Trey was in there. Am I wrong?
He couldn't explode, Mike, because he couldn't. Well, two reasons. One, he couldn't get open, but another reason was because there was just. I would tell you this though, Danny Gray definitely earned his spot on this roster by playing special teams. He turned into a great gunner, and I was like, okay, Danny, I see what you're doing. But guys, like what Mike is saying is Brock did come into the offense, and the offense is doing exactly what it was supposed to do. But let's keep this. Let me put this factor in here, because motherfuckers act like they forgot we acquired in a trade a person named Christian McCaffrey.
How many games has Christian McCaffrey played with Trey Lance? I'm gonna give you a hint.
It's less
amount of sacks the Eagles got.
I was about to say the same thing, bro.
Oh,
Jimmy played better with CMC, and Brock played better than Jimmy with CMC. The option that Trey has to be able to run, and I think, Mike, you want to know what that curve was? I don't think Trey's your option quarterback. He's just not an option quarterback. This is not what he is. So guess what he's doing, y'all? He's learning it. That's why he's taking runs opposed to handing it off, or handing it off opposed to taking the run. He struggled reading it. That's it.
Think about that. Shout out to Twin Empire. He says, and Kittle. He didn't play with Kittle this year either. Think about that.
Because Kittle was out the first.
Out the beginning. Come on, man. So now think about this. So now you got a system that you've been designing all year. You want Ray McCloud for his speed. You want Danny Gray for his speed because you have a big arm. You have a freaking rocket under your center. So you go and get these guys with mad speed. Think about this. Going into the draft, Kyle knew Trey was going to be his guy for this season. So the first receiver that they draft is one of the fastest guys in the draft. That's not a coincidence. And you know what the knock on Danny Gray was coming out? He don't run routes really well, but he's fast as hell.
Mm-hmm.
You telling me that Kyle didn't know that? If we all knew that, if we all saw that before the draft, we all saw that in preseason, y'all don't think Kyle knew that? He went after these guys for a reason. He was out there going to get these guys for a reason. Okay? Look, again, this is not a Brock versus Trey.
I mean, it is. It's gonna be that.
They're not versus because they're on the same team, and we win either way.
Well, it's competition. So
we as Niner fans win either way.
Facts. So here's the thing. I'm praying Brock is healthy. I'm praying Trey's healthy. I'm praying that every 49er that steps into this camp come May is healthy. Like you know what I'm saying? And so at the end of the day, there's going to be some type of competition because you got two young quarterbacks that have started for the San Francisco 49ers. And at some point, one of them has to be the starting quarterback. We just don't know which one it's going to be. I really do feel that Trey Lance gives Kyle Shanahan more things to play with, more levels to unlock. So I think that's what you go with. The league still ain't seen it yet. And with Brock,
go ahead.
I was gonna say with Brock, now the league has seen him, it could be a little bit different. It could be. I'm not saying he can't overcome that adversity, but usually in this second year,
they call it a sophomore slump for a reason. That's not just for quarterbacks, it's for wide receivers, it's for running backs. Once the film is out there, teams prepare for you and all that stuff. And listen, man, like again, Brock did a phenomenal job, averaged 30 plus points a game, right? At one point, we were close to 40. I get it. Kyle Shanahan's highest scoring game since he's been here as a coach with the 49ers?
Wasn't it the Carolina Panthers game?
51 points. Who was his quarterback then? Jimmy Garoppolo.
Jimmy, yeah.
It was Jimmy Garoppolo. My point is,
we ran the ball for like 55 touchdowns, bro.
But Jimmy was in there. We put up mad points. I'm not talking about the points, guys. That's what kind of what I'm wanting.
Are you talking about the efficiency, Mike?
I'm not even talking about efficiency. I'm talking about
that's what Brock Purdy is to me. He's
hella efficient.
He's the efficient guy. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. I'm talking about the ability for a quarterback to take over a game if the pass game, the receivers are a little nervous, they drop ball. How many times have we talked about Debo dropping passes? Led the league in drop passes one year, right? And in third place was Kittle, right? How many times have we talked about the run game? They stop in the run. We're going to have to pass the ball. Jimmy can't do that. If they take away the run and dare Jimmy to throw, this team is in trouble, right? Kyle wants to be able to say, you're going to take this away? Watch what I do now. Watch what I do now. Watch what I do now. He's got that. And I'll be honest with you, he's got it in both of these guys.
Absolutely.
Once you introduce Christian McCaffrey to the system, once you put him here, that was the biggest mistake the NFL made, was letting Kyle Shanahan get his hands on an angry Christian McCaffrey. Let me tell you how much I like Christian McCaffrey after the season ended. I started watching all these little interviews, Super Bowl week, leading up. They're everywhere. These guys are all over the place.
He's super comfortable talking now. I don't think I ever heard him talk before this week.
Bro, exactly. Exactly. My man said,
man, fuck your fantasy football team.
Yeah. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. I had no idea he played with that kind of anger, though. So he did an interview, and he was talking about his mom's interaction with Jimmy Garoppolo, right? They got in the elevator, and he was like, Jimmy's the nicest guy in the world, always positive, always smiling, always, come on, we got it. He said they get there, and his mom sees Jimmy. She's like, let's fucking go, and slaps Jimmy all hard on the arm. And she's like, Mom, he's injured. Like, what are you doing? You can't do that. He was like, but it was good to see her around somebody who's positive like Jimmy, because I'm always angry. Mm-hmm. I always want to go out there and get after it. Like, I want to, like, bro, he speaks like he's a caged pit bull. Nah, I don't want to give the dogs a bad reputation. He speaks like a caged lion. And when you let him out and he hasn't eaten in 2 weeks, he's coming for everything you got.
I like that.
First thing in sight, and he's taking it down. Bro, you mix that all together. You put a quarterback back there that can now all of a sudden hit everywhere on the field. You put a quarterback out there that can run. Not scramble, a quarterback that can run. Kyle was working on some shit.
I think earlier I said that I don't think Trey Lance is a running quarterback. Let me rephrase that. So there's a difference, right? So like I said Trey runs. You got to let Trey run naturally. So the difference when you're dialing up a play and he has to read the end and hand the ball off if the end is crashing, and you know what I'm saying? Like it's different. It's too much thinking. That's not natural for him. It's not how he ran or played football ever. I need y'all to understand that. He's never played football like that. And so the kid has to come in here and learn it well and learn it fast. And this is the main reason. Huh?
Did Giannis just break his hand?
No way. No way.
He played for the Bucks, right?
Of course he played for the Bucks. He the
Well,
big dude.
I'm just making sure I'm talking about the right guy. Somebody fell on him. And he's in the locker room like this. He's in the back. His hand looks swollen.
Oh, that's not good. That's not good. I hate when players get hurt. Period. Like,
I'm sorry. I did not want to interrupt you. I'm sorry.
No. It's not an interruption. I'm just saying, like, I'm not telling people to cut Trey some slack. All I'm saying is the kid was coming in here learning how to operate the run game like a running quarterback. Like that's what he had to learn. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like when you're telling him to run this read option, his RPO, the passing he get, it's really reading the end. I think he sucks at it. Like honestly. And it's nothing wrong with it. It's about making the mistakes. He said that today. He said the best thing you could break your wrist. He broke his wrist.
My cousin broke his wrist playing basketball. I don't know if it's broken, but it's just injured.
So the thing that Trey Lance said today that resonated with me the most was the fact that, you know, he made mistakes, but he said, you know what? It's okay to make the mistakes because I can learn from them. And I comment, I actually put a message in the chat saying that I teach my students the same thing. Of course, that don't get highlighted because people don't care. But my point is, like, people think I'm just this clickbait guy, which I'm not. I gotta go to bed, man. I gotta go lift weights in the morning. But no, seriously, Mike, think about what I'm saying, bro. Once Trey gets that in his system, once he understands this whole RPO system that Kyle Shanahan's trying to implement. I mean, I know Brock can do it, but we didn't see Brock run too many design runs. I don't think he ran many. Actually, now that I think about it, it was actually funny. There were some scrambles, there were some missed handoffs, and he had to take off and run. But I don't think he had any design runs.
Give you one more thing to think about. It's more for I know you thought about it all. You live this stuff. It's more for the viewers right now.
It's always for the viewers.
How many times have we said on this show, this season at the beginning, last season in Trey's couple of games, why doesn't Kyle run the Jimmy Garoppolo offense with Trey Lance? We think he could do that really well. Just think about that for a second. How many times do we scream at the TV? Why is Kyle doing this and this and this? Put him in the offense Jimmy Garoppolo runs.
Because Trey Lance has the ability to open up the offense. So if you want Trey to dink and dunk, I don't think his accuracy is there. But if you want him to dink and dunk, okay. But that doesn't open up who Trey Lance can be. Like Trey could get this ball down the field. So if you dink and go ahead, Mike. I'm sorry.
No. You want it. You want it. If that's what you want, then you don't go get a guy like Trey Lance.
Right.
And remember what I said. The reason Brock Purdy's transition was so smooth is because Kyle had designed it for a guy like him, like Jimmy. Keep it close. Short and intermediate. Deep every once in a while. Keep it short. Keep it sweet. Mistake-free.
Right. Move the chains. Give me. We'll if we get 1 yard, we'll get 6 on the next play, and then we only be third and short. Like that was Kyle.
But
when Trey was in there, he was trying to do some of that, but Trey could read the field. So it was more like let Trey read the field. Like
Exactly. I'm going to say this, and then we can wrap this thing up here. I was thinking about this Chiefs win in the Super Bowl. I was thinking about their last Super Bowl win. I was thinking about their playoff run for their last Super Bowl. And there was one thing in common between this Super Bowl win and their last Super Bowl win and all the games leading up to their first Super Bowl win with Patrick Mahomes. They were down double digits in every one of those games. Their whole playoff run, the first time they won it, they were down double digits. One of the games, they were down like 20-something points. I think it was the Houston or some shit like that. Or was it Houston, Tennessee? One of those, both of those teams. You go out there and you pull up the box score for the 2000, what year was that? 2019? That was the year they beat us. It was 2019. That was the year that they won that Super Bowl.
What do you want me to get? Chiefs
If you pull up any one of those playoff games and look at the box score, the Chiefs were down double digits in every single one of those games.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
You know what Andy Reid did?
What?
Hey, Pat, go out there and do some of your shit on them.
Sprinkle your magic.
Go out there and you be you. You want to take some deep shots? Take some deep shots. You want to run? Go ahead and run.
What's my mantra, Mike? If Kyle lets Trey be Trey. You know why Brock Purdy was efficient? Because he let Brock Purdy be Brock Purdy.
Mm-hmm.
So that actually makes so much sense. And sometimes I feel like Kyle Shanahan inhibits and holds back like the kid. Like, so what? Let him go out there and make these mental reps. This is why, Mike, I know we went to the NFC Championship against the Rams, but man, I wish Trey could have got more reps in 2021. Like, you know what I'm saying? I just wish he could have got some more reps, man. Because, go ahead.
I was just going to say, systems make a difference too.
They do, but Mike, if you get this kid some more reps, Kyle would have been comfortable, unless he was hurt, because Trey Lance apparently was hurt too. But
yes.
I thought he was healthy when he beat Houston, and I thought he was healthy, right? There was no reason why Kyle shouldn't have let Trey Lance play a snapper or six in the NFC Championship game with a beat up Jimmy Garoppolo. It didn't make any sense to me. And you didn't have
hurt.
Unless he was hurt.
Unless he was hurt. That's the only thing that makes sense. I remember he got hurt in the preseason, and then he got hurt in the Arizona Cardinals game. And then after that, he played decent in the Houston Texans game. He got his first victory as a quarterback. He started in 2 games that year, lost to the Cardinals, defeated the Houston Texans. Jimmy Garoppolo was battered, bruised, and beat up, and Kyle didn't think once to put that kid in there. And just imagine how that would have changed the game. Reason why I mentioned mute, baby. The reason why I mentioned systems. Let me ask you this question. We saw Tua play way up here this year until he ran into the Niners, right? Like, Niners kind of changed that shit up a little bit. We saw Hurts play way up here this year. Which one of those quarterbacks would you rather have?
Oh, Hurts.
You see how you didn't hesitate? Like, that was just Mike, what you doing? Why are you wasting my time with this question, right?
Mm-hmm.
In college, which one of those quarterbacks was benched for who?
Hurts was benched for Tua, but that's some college egotistical bullcrap too.
Because systems make a difference, Wayne. Systems make a difference. What they were asking to be done in college played more into the hands of Tua. Right?
Okay.
Kyle comes in here and he says, I don't think of myself as having a system. I play to my player's strengths and da-da-da-da-da-da.
Like Jalen Hurts. I don't look like no Hurts.
Stop it.
I know. It's funny, though.
We are not doing this. But my point, though, is systems make a difference. Kyle Shanahan got something out of Jimmy Garoppolo that no other coach got out of Jimmy Garoppolo. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's
And
not
I
my
don't think
opinion.
I don't think any other coach would get it out of Jimmy Garoppolo.
Well, we're gonna find out this season. We're gonna find out this
We
season.
think we are.
Right.
We'll see where he goes. He's going
Right.
somewhere, and we'll see.
The Eagles got something out of Hurts that a lot of teams didn't think they were going to be able to get out of Hurts. In fact,
Wait a minute, Mike, the Eagles.
the Eagles weren't even sold on Hurts at a
It
certain
was
point.
his last year. They were ready to would give it up. What they did was they went out and secured an expensive offensive line. They paid for about 30 defensive linemen to come in and rotate in and out, which is cool. I get it. I understand that. They had the bread. They secured a secondary. So they built the defense, and then they went and got him the weapon. Not a weapon, but the weapon. They got him AJ Brown. Like that right there is what inhibited Jalen Hurts. And you know what he still did? Rush for a lot of touchdowns. So even with all those weapons,
he's still him. Let Trey be Trey.
That's it, man.
So when the system looks different next year when he's in there, y'all can't question it no more because it's a different type of scheme. It's a different type of game plan when he's in there. It's that simple. It's that simple. It's not a knock on Purdy. We can win with Purdy. I saw somebody say something in there earlier about if Purdy could throw the ball a little bit further, would there be any? There's nothing holding us back now with Purdy. I just think Kyle wants more. That's
Purdy keeps the system efficient. I just want y'all to know that. But I don't think he can push the grade anymore. I think Purdy is at his ceiling. I think this is what we get. And if we can continue to win games,
that right there is the problem. Or not a problem, but that right there is why you end up wanting more. Because there's nothing else for Purdy to do. He's not going to throw further. He's not going to run faster, right? He's already efficient. We know exactly what Brock Purdy is going to be in the NFL. We have literally seen it. We've seen it. This is it. We're looking at it. We're experiencing it. We are living it. Quick yes or no. Has Trey Lance hit a ceiling in the NFL?
Trey Lance didn't even scratch the surface.
Exactly.
I wanted to get to this question because I see our brother Joel from from Sweden is in here. Quick question: are you guys happy with the quarterback room?
Oh, in case y'all didn't catch this, hell yes, I'm happy with it. We have a phenomenal 1-2 punch right now.
Facts.
Because I'll be completely honest with you guys. From the moment we drafted Trey Lance, forget drafting Trey Lance. From the moment we traded up to number 3, I said, whoever Kyle goes and gets, I would immediately work on keeping Jimmy Garoppolo as a backup. And you have the best quarterback room in the NFL. I said that. Now we have a guy who we all think is better
than Jimmy Garoppolo. Yeah.
And we still have the guy that we picked at number 3.
So I think
we have the best quarterback room in the league.
Yeah, and you go get a vet, you know what I'm saying, that could come in here, emergency. And then I think even on their practice squad, they bring back like Josh Johnson.
Yeah.
So he could be
hell no.
It's practice squad.
No.
You don't think he had the team prepared to beat the Eagles?
No. Fuck no. Josh Johnson better not touch a 49ers helmet again.
I'm just saying you bring back a quarterback that can run your practice squad and emulate these quarterbacks that you're going to be playing next season.
Draft another quarterback.
Yeah.
You draft another quarterback. You got fucking 11 picks. Josh Johnson better not ever touch the field. Listen, I argued with Tony. I don't know if it was on the air or not. And I kept saying, why is he here? Bro, when he went in that one game,
it's not like I want him here, Mike. I'm just saying you got to bring in somebody.
Don't put anybody on the roster that if their number's called, they can't contribute.
He wasn't supposed to.
Go ahead.
If you draft another quarterback, you're hoping he turns out to be someone like a Brock Purdy, that he might come in there and get injured too, or that's what it was. Josh Johnson completed a pass and then he sucked. It was weird. It was weird.
Josh Johnson got into a game with the Niners that we were up 3 scores.
He was scared, man.
It was
I rewatched it.
It was in the third quarter, and they didn't attempt a single pass with him. That right there let me know he should not have been on this roster.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I never wanted to go get him in the first place. I never understood that. They might as well have kept Kent Burkhardt.
And everyone kept trying to tell me, oh, well, he's here because he knows the system. I don't care how much of the system you know.
What system?
If you can't execute the system. Exactly my point. I don't care about your familiarity with Kyle Shanahan. If you can't execute it, knowing it don't help. Get off the field. That, bro, man, I was so mad seeing him out there. Oh, man, I was furious. Bro. Not happy at all.
I mean, guys, when I say hitting the ceiling, because I see them addressing that in the chat, that doesn't mean he still can't improve. I'm talking about as far as like
he can always be more efficient. He's not going to put more tools in the bag.
Yeah, I don't think they understand the whole damn concept about hitting the ceiling. It's not like he's gonna just fall flat and suck. No,
right.
Even if he remained the same, like he could come in here, run Kyle Shanahan's system, and put up efficient numbers.
And to be clear, if he would have remained the same, that means he improved because the league is going to catch up to what you were doing.
Exactly.
You got to tweak some shit in order to continue to keep going.
Exactly. So when I'm saying as far as ceiling is more tools in the basket.
Yes.
That's it. That's all it is. And it's okay. I mean, if he had more tools in his basket, he wouldn't have been a 7th round pick. So you got to look at it like that. So he might be a good, efficient type of quarterback. And apparently he put up efficient and really great numbers, and that's fine. But there's just some things that there's some gifts that Trey Lance was probably blessed with that we just haven't seen yet. And I think that's what Kyle Shanahan is looking to tap into. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Everybody got their own special powers. Purdy could get better in his accuracy for sure. He definitely can be more accurate, but every quarterback can be more accurate. I think as long as Purdy remains efficient and continues to make the throws that he throws, he has zero problems in the NFL, especially with Kyle Shanahan. Now, if he goes to a different team and they don't run that quick throw, quick this, quick that, Purdy might look really bad. So you got to think about when Mike talked about the system. Sometimes the system helps enable those factors.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But we'll see. We got a lot of offseason talk about it. We're gonna get to these super chat questions here, man.
Dope.
It looks like a potato with a machete.
It looks like a potato, Michael Myers, potato Jason. Yo, I thought there was a new Jason. There's something coming in New York. Oh, Scream. Scream is coming to New York. I can't wait to see it. All right, go ahead. 49ers should sign Lizzo as Dag. Wait.
Just disrespectful. Just disrespectful.
Move Spencerto.
He moved Spencer to right tackle. No. Is Jalen Moore still on the roster, bro?
Yes.
It's now or never.
The battle at the right tackle was going to be Jalen Moore and Cohen McKivitz. Just get ready.
It's now or never. No, it's no get ready.
I'm telling y'all to get ready. That's the battle.
3 years in this system. It's literally now or never.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say. I don't know. I can't say it in a more friendly way than what I just did. Aaron Banks, he sat back. He improved.
Well, Mike, you can't count the second year for any player, right?
It was technically. I mean, he didn't get on the field. It was his first.
I'm just saying, like second year, sophomore slump. Let's see what he does his third year. Isn't this McKivitz's third year too, or fourth year?
This will be McKivitz. This is three from three. This is 3 from McKivitz.
Yeah, so they're both third year tackles.
Yeah, Moore's got to step up now. Now
Gutierrez is here too. But
no, he's here in spirit, and because of the rules, he's never touching the field. We can stop that. It's not happening. No disrespect intended at all, by the way. Was not trying to be disrespectful with that comment at all. But he's not touching the field.
Let's get to the next contribution.
I'm sorry. Okay. All right. One. Okay. All right, Gammon. 1, is the world flat? 2, Trey's voice AI generated.
Is he saying is the world flat, or is he saying the world is flat?
Well, he's sending us questions. He wants us to answer.
You sure? Because number 1, it says the world is flat,
and 2 says Trey's voice AI generated. So just statements. So we don't have to. We don't have to answer.
No. Thanks, Kim.
If the world was flat, wouldn't I be able to like see mountains if I just look up somewhere?
I don't know, man. Come on, Kyrie. I don't know. I don't.
All right. Hey, Mike, where's your beagle, homie? Oh, my man's got smoke for my man Chris. I had my man Chris on after we lost to the Eagles, and Sean has not like stopped. Like, yo, I want him. Where is he? He had all this shit to say about the Niners. Like he says, where's your beagle, homie? Ask him if it hurts. Loudmouth. J.A. I don't know what that is. Ha ha ha. I mean, look. I don't know. I haven't talked. Did I talk to him after the game? I'm not even sure if I spoke to him after the game, man. You know, because I'm not one of those people. I don't rub it in people's faces. Like, oh, your team lost. Y'all suck. You losers. Like, I'm not that guy. You know what I mean? Like I'm not wired that way. I know a lot of people who are. I'm just not one of them. That's all. But yeah. So I don't know where he is. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know how he's been or any of that. So. You know, hopefully he's good though. Shout out to my man Chris Kane. Shout out to him. Apollo says, do y'all think Kyle has to be the star of the offense? This is a good question.
Mm-hmm.
And damn with these YouTube chats, now I have to add BS to get my money's worth. ... Got it. All right. So let me just say 2 things here, guys. Super chats can be 99 cents. They can be, I don't know if you can do lower than 99 cents. They don't have to be $5. But I read them all at the end of the show. It's a great way to recap. It's a great way to make sure that it doesn't interrupt the flow of the show we have planned also. All right. So if this was an open mic night, I would tell you guys, save the super chats. I'm just going to respond and read all the questions and go. That happens in March. March Madness is coming. Starting March 1st. Well, technically, it'll be March 1st on the East Coast. If you guys are on the West Coast, it'll still be February 28th. Right. But starting then, I do March Madness, my March Madness segment, midnight, 15 minutes, fire off any question you have, and I answer them for 15 minutes. Hard stop at 15. All right, so just keep that in mind. Now, do you think Kyle has to be the star of the offense, Wayne?
Kyle as the star of the offense? No.
Not even close.
Mm-mm.
Not even close. Every offensive coordinator wants people to know that my system, my scheme works. That's all it is for Kyle. We're just so close to it that we don't think that way. We think that Kyle has this big ego. You're a head coach in the NFL. You better have an ego.
His ego's different though. He's a little what's the word?
You better not say arrogant.
Nah, he's not arrogant.
Okay.
He doesn't come off arrogant. He just comes off. I get the question though. Like he it's not about him being the star. It's just him about saying that my junk works. I think that was the best way to put it, Mike. Like, you know what I'm saying? All you gotta do is do what I say and it's gonna work. And here's why I know that's true. Deebo Samuel in his recent interviews came out and talked about how Kyle Shanahan, his rookie season, you know, he used to wear the visor so he could curse Kyle out. So he couldn't see what Kyle was saying because Kyle would be yelling at the players because Deebo said this, and that was the funny part. But Deebo said that Kyle Shanahan pays attention to all the detail. If you're supposed to be lined up here at a 45-degree angle, then you have to be lined up at that angle on 45 because it's going to work. Like, so that's Kyle Shanahan. I think we get the angry Kyle when the shit just don't work or somebody made a mistake and we can't.
When you're supposed to be at 45 degrees, you're at 27.
Right. That's when you get.
You know who else was like that?
Every other coach in the league.
Bill Walsh.
Oh,
Bill Walsh. Bill
mhm.
Walsh was exactly like that.
They ain't complaining about him, huh? Mm.
They complained about him until it worked. And then once it worked, it was like, oh, okay, never mind. My bad.
Mm-mm.
But no, I don't think Kyle has to be the star of the offense. And I think, again, that's why you go out and get a guy like Trey Lance. You want Trey Lance to be the face. You want people to talk about your quarterback the way they talk about these other quarterbacks around the NFL. You want people to say, damn, we got to go up against Trey Lance and that offense. We got to go up against Jalen Hurts and that offense, right? They got other good players on the offensive side of the ball over there. But you start your game plan with how do we deal with this guy who can do X, Y, and Z. And then you sprinkle in the dual threat running back, the dual threat quarterback, the dual threat wide receiver, the triple threat tight end. Kyle's got a monster here on his hands. And if you think it's about Kyle, then why would he go out and trade for a guy like Christian McCaffrey? Why do you extend a guy like Debo? If Kyle felt like he needed to be the star, he would be, I can get anybody and they can do this. And that's anything but what Kyle is. So I don't think so. All right. Niner Vega, thanks for the super chat. Thanks everybody else for the super chat as well. Says, I know Mike and Breezy don't see eye to eye with me on every subject, but at the end of the day, you're the number one place for Niners content. Nothing but love.
Appreciate
Wayne,
you, Niner Vega.
Kudos to you. Thank you for the super
Mike
chat.
and I don't see eye to eye on every subject. It's okay.
Sure, no.
We're not supposed to see eye to eye. We're supposed to.
How boring of a show would that be if we sat here and just agreed with each other the whole time?
Yeah, man, that shit would be whack, bro. Like, honestly, if I agree with something, I'd be like, okay, that makes sense. How many times Mike and I yell at each other, but then something is said, and then we kind of get it. Like, we get it.
Like, oh, that's what you meant. Yeah.
That's all it is.
Mm-hmm.
So you're
those
not
make for
supposed
good
to
shows. Those make for good shows. No one should be so closed-minded to think that their opinion is the only one that's the correct one. You shouldn't be like, oh no, this is it. Period. Gospel. Like, no, it can't be that way. It can't be that way. It can't be that way. So we thank you for the super chat, though, man. This is a good one. This is a special one. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Deshaun, he chimes in. He said, "What up, Niner gang? Brock should be the starter this year. He'll be ready for training camp." Hey, we'll see. Oh, this is how I know it's Trey Lance's team next year.
Okay.
I heard an interview with George Kittle.
Okay.
You know what George Kittle said?
What he
Brock
said?
should be the starter.
Okay.
That's what he said.
I know.
Brock should be the starter. I heard an interview with Trey Lance. You know what Trey Lance said?
Brock should be the starter. I got to come out and compete.
I got to come out and compete. I don't want nothing given to me. It should be Brock. He played too well for me to just get the job.
Mm-hmm. So because of that energy, he about to take it. I like it.
Bro.
I like it.
The best trick the devil ever proved on the world was convincing them that he didn't exist. Don't worry about me. I'm just Trey Lance. Worry about Brock. Man.
I like it. I like it.
I'm so psyched for next season, bro. I'm so psyched for next. I'm actually going to do one of those bets where I put like $500 on the Niners to win the Super Bowl, like in the offseason.
If you do it, let me know because I might try it. I don't know how to do it. So
I'm telling you, I'm going to do it.
Okay.
I'll record me doing it and post it on here. I'm doing
Okay.
it. Niners to the Super Bowl this year.
Where do you
Niners
go to
win
do
the
that?
Super Bowl. Huh?
Where do you just go to do it? Like,
I must find out. I'm gonna go to Parks. It's the local casino out here.
oh, so you got to be at it.
If they don't let me do it, I'll sign up somewhere I got people in Vegas. Somebody knows somewhere I can do it. I'm not the gambling guy like that. I'll do some parlays and all that stuff on my phone, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna find out where to do it, and I'm gonna do it. My wife's gonna be mad. It's okay, baby. Don't. It'll be a business expense. Okay. Here we go. Is Brock a younger, more athletic, more coachable version of Jimmy?
Yeah.
Let's start there.
Yeah, I mean that. You were asking me who does he remind you of in the playoffs, and it was Jimmy. It was Jimmy pre-injury. It was that Jimmy, the one that wasn't scared, the one that didn't look timid. Brock looks zero timid, like zero. Oh, you hit me? No problem. I'm gonna get back up.
Jimmy wasn't playing in the playoffs. So, okay. I understand the confusion. My question was, of the quarterbacks in the playoffs, which one did Brock remind you of? not in the playoffs. That version of Brock. I'm sorry, my bad.
But for me, like that. But I'm just saying overall, that's who Brock reminds me of. A way better Jimmy. Like what Jimmy probably would have been when he first came into the league if they let him be him.
I completely agree with you. That was well said. But yes, Michael Payne. Here comes the pain. Yes, absolutely. Younger, more athletic, more coachable. Yes, I agree. Is Brock the better player? They thought they were getting when they traded for Jimmy?
I don't know what they thought they were getting from Jimmy, because Jimmy didn't woo me in New England. There was nothing he did that was like exciting. But I thought he was coming from. I think they felt like because he was under Tom Brady, that he can come in here and lead the team. Now, the first few games that we played in, Jimmy looked like he was going to give us hope. At five games, and then what is it? Week 2, week 3.
It wasn't even that long. We opened the season up against what? It was either the Vikings or the Lions.
So it was week 2 against Kansas City.
That's when he got injured. But
that's what I'm saying. That's when the shit hit the fan.
That's what I'm saying. It hit the fan before then, but people just don't remember it.
Oh, okay.
The opening game, Kyle was screaming at him, "Throw the fucking ball." It was the first game.
I've never seen him scream at Trey Lance, bro. I'm just saying. Because remember, we were going back and forth, and we were saying, did Kyle Shanahan want this dude, or did John Lynch do this?
That was a big debate for a long time, and to this day, we don't know the answer.
And
all I know is every offseason, Kyle be like, "Yeah, Jimmy shouldn't be back." every offseason, that's what Kyle's saying. I still don't know the answer to that. I don't know the answer to that, and I don't know the answer to the second question here. Like you said, I have no idea what they were expecting, what they thought Jimmy was going to be. I have no clue. I have no idea. Here's what I do know. Kyle would be like, they'd be like, "Is Jimmy?" No, just stop asking me. No, Jimmy's not going to be back next year. Like, Kyle,
if you want to make Kyle Shanahan angry, just say Jimmy Garoppolo.
Right. It's like saying Beetlejuice 3 times. If something different won't happen, you ain't going to like it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. All right, here we go. We only got, I think this is the last one. I'm going to go back and check the rest of the comments here. Is this year Trey's last chance to take QB1? Now, this is an interesting question.
I don't think it's his last year. I mean, technically, it'd be his first year playing quarterback. So no.
That's not what the question was.
But he's saying, is this coming year his last year to take it? I think he takes it. I don't think
let me rephrase his question. If for some reason Brock Purdy wins out the QB1 job over Trey Lance,
that's
Trey
a whole
Lance
different question.
No, wait, let me finish. If for some reason Brock Purdy beats out Trey Lance for the starting job this year,
mm-hmm.
will it be a competition in the future?
If I would say it'll always be a competition.
I don't think so.
I do.
I don't. And I'm only going to say it because at some point you gotta get a guy and you gotta go. I don't think you look for.
But if you still got it, I mean, are you then that means we're talking about trading him, because then you're not going to want him here.
Maybe that's
so. If you're going to pick a guy and you go with Brock because he won, then you got to trade Trey Lance.
I don't agree with that, but I understand the premise of what you're saying, right?
Well, because you can't. Because you said you got to pick a guy. If Trey Lance you're telling Trey Lance. So you're telling me the third pick in the first round of a draft is gonna have to be a backup quarterback. I don't know. I don't know how you feel about like how that work, pay wise, all that type of stuff. He's still gonna get paid that money, the first round money. So it's like, I don't know. Maybe they just don't fifth year option him and then let him walk.
I think that if he doesn't get it this year, it'll be year 3.
Yeah. So then year 3,
we're about to go into year 3.
Yeah, so if he doesn't get it this year, it's year 3, and then next year will be his 4th year, his last year under contract.
Right, but I don't think you got to trade him because you can still use him as a backup because he's still
That's
on
what
a
I'm saying.
rookie contract.
Okay, I don't know, man. That's kind of tough.
If I'm
That's
the Niners, I definitely draft another quarterback this year with one of our later picks. And it's not because I don't like Trey. It's not because I don't like Brock. I think they love both of those guys, if we're being completely honest.
But they got to pick one. One's got to
have
be
to pick one, but the other doesn't have to leave, is all I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to say. The other doesn't have to leave because you pick one to be the starter, because you still have a solid ass quarterback room if you keep them.
Yeah, but then if one doesn't leave, then that's why I kept saying that it'll still remain a competition. So I don't care if you pick one to be the starter or not. Trey Lance is still going to want to start, so he's going to go out there and bust his ass. And if Brock doesn't start, Brock's going to want to start, so he's going to go out there and show his ass. Like it's still going to be some type of a competition. You get what I'm saying?
I hear you. I don't agree. I hear you, and what you're saying, it makes sense. But if they can't, I don't know how to explain what I'm trying to say. If Brock wins this competition, because Lance is healthy, he's got more time in the system, the competition is going to be an off-season thing. It's not going to be an in-game situation. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that means that if he can't win, that means he's not better than Brock. But
then
so
next year, that doesn't mean he can't come back and be better than Brock, is what I'm saying.
Okay. All right. I get your point. Now you got me. Okay. I got you. You're saying that for whatever reason he might lose this competition for, he has an opportunity to go back and fix it.
If you keep him on his team, he does.
Right. And so it would be a competition the following year again. Okay. All right. You got me. I got you. That makes sense. All right. I believe that's it. Oh,
got
shit.
one more from Sean, and then I'm going to bed.
All right. You
I'm
your
try
turn.
to read this one.
Yes. I'm sorry. I did the other one. I did the
This
first
is
one.
to you too, Mike. No, Mike.
Oh.
I was pissed listening to Chris, the Jack BB.
The jackass.
Yeah, Mike, can't say that. For 2 hours while licking my wounds. Anyway, Jesus loves him. I don't.
Sean, you're supposed to be Christ-like. You gotta love him. What are you doing?
You guys see Eagles fans storm City Hall? Wow. Purdy had greater command. I didn't see that. What happened?
You want to know something? I saw a post about that, and I live here. I have drivers who work in the city. Nobody said that. I only saw that online. I don't know if that really happened.
Mm-hmm.
I saw it. I saw the post on Twitter, but I didn't see that anywhere else. Only that post. So I don't know how real that was, Sean. I don't. Two yellows.
Did Giannis ever come back in the game?
My wife took over the TV. She's playing the game on the PlayStation 5. Sorry. Does your wife play the PlayStation?
Sorry.
Nah.
At all? Like nothing? Like if you don't download Tetris and try to like
she's not into that.
She's not into Tetris?
She's not in the games.
Neither is my wife, but she'll play Tetris and shit on the PlayStation.
Do. Speaking of Tetris.
He said crap is better than I didn't even notice that. Check you out. Okay. Yo, that's crazy. Why? What are you doing? What's up?
I just like shirts.
I like shirt. All right. Good night, y'all. He said Sean says crap is better than Jimmy Garoppolo.
Sean, I'm so glad we're moving on. Yo, we will not have to deal with Jimmy Garoppolo in the next 3 weeks, bro. Like he will be gone. That is official. I'm so tired. I'm tired.
Yeah. I feel you, man. Guys, that's going to do it, though, man. We're going to wrap this bad boy up. This was a phenomenal show. I had a lot of fun, as promised. I want to let y'all know I toned down a lot of what I wanted to say because Breezy be snapping back on me. So I wasn't sure.
When did I snap?
Ask that question with a straight face. Look into the camera.
When did
and
I
ask-
snapped on today's episode?
No, I didn't say you snapped on today's
In
episode.
our text messages.
No, just in general. I said I toned down my delivery for today's episode because Breezy be snapping on me.
What?
It's
I don't
not
be
that you
snapping.
did.
What? Say what you got. Yo, you always gotta come. Pause. You always gotta say what you gotta say. What you want to say.
I got my points out. It was the delivery.
Yeah,
I was
but
coming bigger. I had some vitriol. I had some flames. I had it a point to compliment Brock Purdy at the start of the show because I was going to tear his ass up later when I was talking about my man.
Why
Lance.
didn't
But
you?
I think I did it in a good way. I think I did it in a respectful way.
Yeah, but don't blame that shit on me.
Oh, I had to because I didn't know what side you was going. You know what really pissed me off with it?
Oh, I see what you're saying. I get where you're going with this now. I got you.
Because what bothered me the most was when you said, I think this is Trey Lance's team next season. Then I was like, damn, had I known that, I'd have spit the vigor I was going to spit because you'd have been like, yeah, that's right. Let's go. I didn't know how you was gonna react to my you know.
He sure does, Terrence.
What happened?
Yeah, I said I had to go an hour ago.
Oh, yeah, bye. All right.
I love Mike. I'm not a snapping turtle. I'm what's that? Razor from Ninja Turtles 2, Secret of the Ooze, Toka and Razor.
I know. Oh, look at you knowing their names. I don't remember what their names were.
You don't remember Toka and Razor?
I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yo, Mike, I went to my son
I was
don't
mad it wasn't Bebop and Rocksteady.
Yeah, well, they didn't have Bebop and Rocksteady in the first one, but they had them in the newer Ninja Turtles.
Right.
But I went to like the Walmart or whatever, and so I was getting my son something from Legos or some junk, right? So I was like, let me just go in the toy aisle. You know what I'm saying? Let me see what I see. Because I grew up playing, they had G.I. Joes, but they had the old joints, like the official joints with the packaging. Ask me how much the G.I. Joes were, bro.
I'm afraid because I know. All right.
The Cobra Commander joint was $22.36, bro.
For one?
For one. I don't think I ever paid that much for a G.I. Joe.
You didn't. Because back in that day, back when we were younger, if we asked for a $22 action figure, our parents would have been like, man, I ain't even gonna say it because I don't want people thinking my mom talked like that. that would not have happened, bro.
Yo, and so they had the old He-Man. So they got the new Masters of the Universe He-Mans, but they had the original.
They had the original one.
That was $27, bro.
As a child, I could not decide on what my favorite cartoon was, and the two cartoons were He-Man and Thundercats.
Yeah, it was tough, and they came on two different networks too, so that's what made it even more tough.
I could not decide on which one I love. I love Cringer, Battle Cat. Like, He-Man was my joint. He even had a little public service announcement at the end of every episode. You remember those? Mm-hmm. Hey, don't forget, kids, sometimes you're going to see a bully. Doesn't mean you should fight back, but you should forgive. Like, he always had these positive messages. Man, you're the strongest dude in the world. You bench pressing tigers. Like, shut up.
Let's end with this question, bro.
All right.
How come we didn't get any compensation pick for Jimmy? I don't think you get it until the end of the year, right?
Right, yeah, you can't get it yet. So what'll happen is the Niners let Jimmy walk in free agency, and based off of his contract that he signs in free agency, then we will get a compensatory pick if it qualifies. So it's the same way. Who was the last comp pick we got? Was it our wide receiver? What's my man's name?
I don't know, but Kylie just made my name.
The wide receiver that went to New England. Kendrick Bourne. Kendrick Bourne, right? He was like I believe he was the last comp pick we got, and so it's based off of their contract and all that stuff. So it's the following year.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that I'm not the only grown ass man that go into the toys section just to reminisce. It's just it's the walk down memory lane.
I don't do it. I could see me buying stuff like
but I put them in the cart, and then but my brain wouldn't let me pay that much. I didn't pay that much. I ain't gonna pay that much down for the same damn toy.
Exactly, bro. I couldn't. You know the toys that I got. Remember the ones that they came out with where you stick your fingers in the back and they make a move. The motherfuckers didn't even. fucking knockoff joint. Your guys are posable. They can stand on their own. Mine are on my fingers.
I'm
Remember
out,
that big
man.
ass rubber hole in the back of them? All right, y'all. That's going to do it for us tonight. We want to thank y'all for checking us out, man. We really, really appreciate you all. You guys have been great. Wayne, let's go home, man. Prepare for glory.
Anticipate pain, y'all.
But always
get them He-Mans from Walmart, man. They are on fleek. Faithful.
Remain faithful, y'all. We'll talk to y'all. Peace.
We all gas, no brakes, pumped up, no fakes. We spinning, we winning, we high stakes. We never miss, we all makes. Look at us dudes trying to prove, bringing you news with nothing to lose. Mike, Nick, Tony, Wayne, Method Man, we bring the pain. Hey, see, I'ma confess it. We under the pressure. If you looking to find us, them nothing but Niners. Nothing but Niners. We nothing